Welcome back. I'm Captain Xavier, and I am not wearing a hat. Friday, Q&A, Fanmail. Lovely. Talk about events. The next big event that I will be hosting will be here on February 19th, which is, that is correct, my birthday. We're going to be having a Nerf war here on my birthday. I am excited for it. I'm going to give away presents, because I party Hobbit style. I give away presents on my birthday. But if anyone wants to send me stuff, link is down in the description. Of course, feel free to mail me root beer and Lego and mint and whatever else you want to send me. Anybody have any of those zombie half bricks? I would love to get more of those. I don't expect people to send me anything, but anything will, of course, be greatly appreciated. I will probably open all of the stuff on Friday like I normally do, or rather on the Thursday before like I normally do. There will be a live stream, because we're going to have all kinds of fancy local Nerf personalities there, so that will be pretty cool. And there will be a live stream, and we will be eating cake, hobnobbing, and hanging out. It'll be lovely. Feel free to join in on that. We will answer questions and all of that. So, yeah. The next event after that will be Brick Cascade down in Portland on March 12th and 13th. Sergeant Deplorable and I will be bringing our even larger war fleets, because we've built 3 more ships of the line since BrickCon, because we're madmen. And it should be a really impressive display there. I've talked to them, and they're going to make sure we have enough room to really stretch it out and make it look good. So that's where we stand on that. Nerf War... What? World War Nerf. Can't read no more. World War Nerf. Do you have a favorite way to name your blasters? I'm not sure what you mean by way. I generally name my blasters after Norse deities because I like them and because Hasbro hasn't started using those yet. They probably will, and then I will be terribly annoyed. I don't generally do like any kind of a big ceremony or anything like that. I pick names that I felt were fitting. And most of them I have explained how I chose, what I chose, and why I chose the various names. And there's a couple that I need to do some final repairs on, get them fully back up and functional, and then I believe they earned their names at a previous event. And that's the thing, is for me, they have to earn the name. It has to be something where I have used this blaster in battle, and this particular blaster saved me or performed better than a lesser blaster might have. So, if I'd been armed only with hammer shots, I might have been taken out. But because I had my auto strifes, I survived a battle that I had no business surviving. And that is the sort of thing where these blasters have earned their name. They performed. I very specifically do not name blasters before they have been proven, because that's just a real good way to hear the gods laugh. It's just asking for trouble. Yeah. If you say, this is the greatest, it's like a Game of Thrones where Joffrey named his sword Heartbreaker or whatever he named it, and then he gets beaten by a little girl and the sword gets thrown in the river. That's what happens when you name a sword or a weapon before it's been proven. Or you name it, this is Deathbringer, and you take it onto the field and you pull the trigger and it jams and you die like a schmuck. That's the kinds of things that happen when you name a blaster before it's earned it. Because then it'll never live up to its name. People are going, oh yeah, it's Jambringer more like. Whereas if it has performed, they have seen it perform, they have seen it be badass and kick butt and do amazing things, then it doesn't matter if it jams every time after that. They will remember what happened the first time, and that name will continue to have meaning. So that's my philosophy. It's all made-uppy stuff, but I like it. Next question. Austin Black. If a walrus and a potato shared a croissant, how would the moon-dwelling otters juggle the orange mannequin? Counterclockwise. Dark Lord of Sword. In the most colorful terms possible, how cold is it? It's sort of a light blue. It's not bad anymore. Yeah, we got our week of snow, and then it was gone, and now it's just cold. It's not a colorful cold. It's just Starfall Galaxy. Would a Nerf battle work on a train? Well, I mean, if you can get the people who own the train to allow it, then once the train has stopped accelerating and is traveling at a constant velocity, then yeah, it'll work fine. If you try to fire a Nerf dart in a train while it's accelerating, that could cause problems. Speaking of, just from a physics standpoint. Gainsy. How many apples is too many apples? Well, it depends on what you're doing. If you're having an apple with lunch, 2 is probably a bit excessive. If you're making apple pie for 500 people, you're gonna need more than 2. Christopher Goodrow. Would you recommend a Nexus or a Caliber? Now, I asked for clarification, and I didn't get quite enough. Those are 2 very different blasters, and so comparing them is not as easy as you'd think. The Nexus Pro is a third, if not less, the price of a Caliber, but it does not have anywhere near the upper potential. It can get modded to be fairly impressive, but it's never going to be able to outperform a top-end Caliber. So it depends on what you're going for. If you're just wanting, a relatively stock sniper blaster that's relatively accurate and performs well, Nexus Pros are great. They're injection molded, they're professionally made, they're good, solid blasters. A lot of them get used here at my arena against far more powerful blasters because they work. And the nature of our arena being CQB, it levels things a lot. Now, if you're in a big open field, you might want to go with a Caliber because they tend to have longer range and more accuracy. But they're a lot more expensive. They also have way more customization and mod potential. So it depends on what you're going for. Inventor Zorhan. What was your favorite food in Ireland? Ooh. There were 2 that I remember. The first was the first food that I ate in Ireland. We'd just gotten off the plane. It had been a transatlantic flight. We were starving. We got to our bed and breakfast, checked in, went to the local pub to get food, and asked if they had food. I didn't know how pubs work. Do you have food? And then the barmaid just said, oh yeah, we got stew. I'm like, I'll take it. And then I unfortunately asked for Mountain Dew, and she got very offended. And I eventually learned why on the ferry on the way to France. But they brought out this stew, and I have no idea what it was. It was red, and it was spicy, and there were tentacles, and bits of clam, and claws, and bits of fish. It was absolutely amazing, and I've never had anything like it since, or before. It was fantastic. And then on that ferry, where I finally figured out why she was insulted by Mountain Dew, I had a shepherd's pie that was just absolutely magnificent. So good. I might have shepherd's pie for dinner. Yep, having shepherd's pie. I want the taters. Michael Suenaka. Cuenca? No idea. Have you thought of playing the special zombie jingles from Left 4 Dead 2 for HVZ? No, because I've never played Left 4 Dead 2. I have no idea what you're even talking about. Boggle! Have you ever considered hosting some sort of HVZ in the future? Oh, absolutely. Hosting a big HVZ up here in the Pacific Northwest is definitely on my eventual to-do list. I have plans that I would love to see actually take place. Don't know if they ever will, but I don't want them to. Alexander McPherson. Which of your Proton Pack compatible blasters is your favorite, excluding tier? My smart gun? How is that a difficult question? And which blasters would you like to make Proton Pack compatible? I definitely want to eventually get around to doing the Percy's. Though there is just an adapter. I think I have the adapter from Out of Darts in a box here somewhere. And I definitely want to do the Soldier 76. I think it's Soldier 76. The Overwatch one. Definitely want to get that one converted to Proton Pack just because it's huge and beefy and I want to put a Titan in it and it's going to be fabulous. Absolutely magnificent. Take that! Ah! Hit the stand. AJ Radinsky, would you be willing to pass a book that I'm trying to write for proofreading? Oh, good lord, no. No, I am an absolutely abysmal proofreader. My spelling is atrocious. I'd be useless. Griffin Hall, how long do you usually keep your sets built? Depends on the set. Some of them are indefinite. Like most of my Star Wars sets, I still have enough room for most of them, though I do still have the big Millennium Falcon and the big Star Destroyer to build, but nowhere to put it. Yet. I will eventually find somewhere to put them and they will get built, and they will stay built. I also have a large collection of vintage space. I have a large collection of vintage castle, all of which are on permanent display. I have no intention of taking them down. I don't need the parts, and I really like looking at them. And they're just fun to have. The vintage pirate that I have, a lot of that is probably going to it may end up not on display, though I may keep it assembled. I have been slowly cannibalizing them for some parts because building those ships of the line require a lot of parts. But I have plans to build a really fancy pirate diorama, and most of the classic stuff wouldn't fit with the level of detail that I'm planning to go for. So those may get torn down. And a lot of the stuff that you guys send, depending on what it is, I have a special display place just for all the sets that I've been sent, the really cool ones that I want to keep. Some I do just scrap for the parts because I need the parts. Others stay assembled. So there's no one answer for that. Rex Regum. If someone could 3D print any Nerf bolt action for you, what would you want them to make? I'm not a huge fan of bolt action. I never really understood the cult following that bolt actions have. And I think that is largely because I'm left-handed, and using a bolt action rifle left-handed is unpleasant, especially if it's got a curved bolt handle. The straight ones aren't as bad. Of all the bolt actions I've shot, my favorite was the Mauser. But unless it's a left-handed bolt action one, I'm not interested. Not my thing. The Cybermedic. Have you read Red Shirts, a novel with 3 codas by John Scalzi? No. Trip Miller. Have you named the swamp animals that stalk the shop? No, very specifically no. There's really one that comes in here more often, and that one is simply Swamp Cat. And I'm relatively certain that it's actually Swamp Cat the second. I'm pretty sure it is one of the kittens from the previous Swamp Cat's litter, which is why I don't name the Swamp Cats, because they're feral cats. They live in the wild here in my swamp on the edge of civilization. The likelihood that they're going to get eaten by a great horned owl or a coyote or killed by a redneck is far too high for me to want to get that attached. So, yeah. Swamp Cat, or just Puma. In my brain, all cats are vicious pumas, and all dogs are vicious hounds. And we will be savaged, there is no doubt. Savaged, eventually. Emerald. Do you think frag is an acceptable substitute for kill in Nerf context? Absolutely. Generally, of course, as you said, we use tag, but that's less LARPy. Some people want to use, something a little bit more in character, and so frag. If you're in a full-scale LARP, then kill isn't all that bad. Now, something like, a public park or an HVZ, you don't want to be saying that you killed somebody because, reasons. Frag's a good one. Blasted is a good one. I could probably think of a half a dozen more, but frag I think is a good one. It's well known what it means, so yeah. T-Bug20. Just how damp is it? Right up there with how cold is it. The area of Washington that I live in gets so much rain, it is classified as a temperate rainforest. It's damp. Like, I've had plastic totes develop mildew. Blech. I've had scissors. I got a pair of scissors that mildewed. They're scissors! Ugh. Second question, can we see the Puma? No, you may not. How very dare you. Mostly because the Puma's not here at the moment. Which is unusual. Usually by now, if I've been in the shop this long, they would have been showing up looking for food, so hopefully they're okay. See above about not getting attached to feral swamp cat. Mac Walsh. When you go over the carnage of firing blasters and clean up afterwards, are you careful to not step on munitions? Yes. Mm-hmm. Otherwise I wouldn't, why would I? Yes. Yes, don't trample your ammo. That's just a bad idea. James H45. Do you not do sports because you don't like it, do not want to watch it, or both? Neither. I haven't, well, I guess it's really more of the don't want to. If sports is on, I will watch it. I enjoy an exhibition of skill and stamina as much of the next person, but it's not something I go out of my way to look for. It wasn't something that I was big into growing up, never much cared. When I was living in Tacoma and the Seahawks were doing really well, I was, go Seahawks, but now, meh. And finally, Mert Zarello. Mr. T. Arizello? I like Mertzarillo. What is your favorite candy/treats? Anything with mint or caramel? Ow! No good. Right, I have a bunch of package. I believe most of them are from Sparky the Saint, and I think most of them are books. So, let's do this. Aha! Right, package. Almost all of them are floppy types. We'll start with the smallest one. From Sparky the Saint. It's a book. Fascinating. It is The Revenge of the Hound, a Sherlock Holmes mystery. Cool. A sleeping derelict is savaged by a huge hound. See, I told you, all hounds, savage, vicious. The headless skeleton of Oliver Cromwell is stolen. A Chinese ship's steward is mysteriously murdered, and the King of England is threatened with blackmail. Well, that just sounds fantastic. Most excellent. I am a big fan of Sherlock Holmes in general. Let's take a look at this one. How do you... Aha! It's a book. Gabriel and the Creatures. Any explanation for this? What do we have here? Any explanation? Preface. Fascinating. Cool. Illustrated. Oh, it is. It is illustrated. I like it. Neat. Sure. Something in here? No, just a book. Most excellent. No idea who that one came from. No note. Could have been from anybody. Could have been from Sparky. Could have been from someone else. You know who you were. All right. Take a look at this one. To figure out how to get into it. Aha. I'm in. It's a book. The Pursuit of the Houseboat. What? Lecter House believes that a society develops through a twofold approach of continuous learning and adaptation, which is derived from the study of classic literary works spread across the historic timeline of literature records. Neat! Very cool. I do enjoy philosophy, as we have discussed in this video already. Right, we have another one here from the Amazon fulfillment service. Is there a note? A note! Maybe? Nope, nothing. Marvin Kaye and the Incredible Umbrella Tetralogy. A volume of collected all 4 books of the classic Incredible Umbrella series, which takes the narrator on a whirlwind series of humorous adventures through literary and cinematic worlds, including The Wizard of Oz, Sherlock Holmes, Frankenstein, Dracula, Gilbert and Sullivan, Laurel and Hardy, and many more. Included are The Incredible Umbrella, The Incredible Battle in Oz, The Amorous Umbrella, The Cosmic Umbrella. Well, that just sounds fascinating. I love the absolute wild variety of books that I'm being sent, because these are books I never would have, almost certainly never would have gotten on my own, and that is really, really cool. Love getting books. Run more! Yeah, pretty sure it's more books. It is! Oh, what do we got? What do we got? Enjoy your gift. Yes, but from Sparky the Saint. Haha! Truth. The truth comes out. Evidence. All right, we have George MacDonald Fraser, the Complete McCausland? From the author of the Fleshman series. Fraser is easily juggle Conan Doyle and Holmes, Fleming Bond, Wodehouse and Wooster. The most disastrous soldier to ever serve the British Army, Private McCausland. McCausland. The dirtiest soldier in the world, first demonstrated his unfitness for service in the general danced at dawn, continued his disorderly advance, losing, soiling, and destroying his equipment through the pages Well, that sounds fantastic. Excellent. There's another one in here. There's 2 more in here. Oh, Sparky, you spoil me. So many books. The Steel Bonnets. The story of the Anglo-Saxon border reavers. Oh, yes. I do enjoy good early history stuff. And The Further Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, the Giant Rat of Sumatra. Excellent. Well, those are all going into the library on the read list. Thank you all so much. We got one more here. Dubious. Doesn't quite sound like happiness. Because it's not. What do we got? Sparky the Saint. Oh, yeah. Cat treats. He has brought cat treats for the Pumas, which is most excellent. I shall beguile them to stay here eventually. Right. Well, that is it for the loot, books, and cat treats. Wonderful. Thank you ever so much. If you have a question you would like answered, go ahead and put it in the comments of this video. That's where I draw the questions from that I read in the next one. Though do keep in mind the next one will be, there'll be a live stream the next day, so I might just do the Q&A then. Keep in mind, I don't know who all is going to be there yet, but people who were invited were Out of Darts, Brett, Luchathor, Walcom S7, Silver Fox, Sergeant Deplorable, Brandon Diaz, the usual lot. Like I said, Dr. Flux, Dr. Pews, the Jankmeister. Again, don't know who all's going to make it yet, but those were all the people that were invited. So if you have questions for them, you can bring that up at the live stream. So, all right. Thank you ever so much. Thank you for watching. All right, that Puma, gonna spoil him.